All right, we should be live by now. How's it going, everybody? This is the Osmo.com NHL DFS Strategy Show, two-game slate edition. It is October 31st, Halloween day, night, depending on what time you're listening to this or watching this, I suppose. We'll go over some two-game slate strategy on lineup study. We are going to, of course, break down the games. I will pull up the lineup builder. We could talk about just general two-game strategy. I think we'll probably do that a bunch. And maybe you guys have questions or people you want me to look at. That would be fantastic because the short slates, I don't know, they've been pretty fun. I don't know if I've been profitable on them this year, but I feel like I've been close, and maybe everyone's been close on two-game slates because you're really never out of it. But it feels like, I don't know, it feels like we have a good grasp on everything. So, all right, we got a couple things that we need to talk about before. I'll make sure I mention this a couple times. Another giveaway. Shocking, I know, that there would be a Thursday night football giveaway, but we just keep giving stuff away. If you want to have a chance at this one, there's a link you need right in chat. Retweet, like, and reply. I will retweet this right now. So if for whatever reason you can't find it, just go to my Twitter. Yeah, I think my handle's under me. I don't really tweet a ton, but I usually just retweet these and company man stuff. But yeah, go find that. Participate. All you gotta do is tell us who you think's gonna score the most fantasy points tonight. We are a DFS company, so fantasy points pretty easy. Takes a couple seconds of your time. See some Tevin Coleman guesses. Nolan trolling everyone. Christian Kirk asking for game theory. So I don't even know, but gives you another reason to watch the game if you're not trick or treating or whatever you do on Halloween night. It doesn't feel like a Thursday today, probably because there's only two games. But anyways, showdown giveaway for an Osmo Plus NFL Season Pass. Pretty good deal. A bunch more free stuff. Speaking of free content, Alex and Ben Raza just did a showdown strategy, about a 45-minute video on our YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out as well. They do a really good job breaking everything down from a very analytical perspective. Both those guys incredibly sharp, and I don't think there's a better showdown show out there. So those guys broke it down. I actually just got done watching that, and Alex was talking about how we just give stuff away for free. So felt like I should start the show off with a free giveaway. Other free stuff today. Alex's Osmo's top showdown and single game plays for DraftKings and FanDuel. This is a really cool thing if you liked the MLB top stacks or the NFL top stacks. This is a tool where he breaks down the probability that each player will be a top play, essentially, and compared to their ownership. Of course, it's all about ownership. We'll go over the NHL Free Week promo code. That is NHL Free Week. So it's typed out. I'll type it in chat just so you guys can see this. NHL Free Week. There you go. We'll go over that in just a second. We also, Laffy's the deep dive is the written article that when that comes out, that will be free today as well, I believe. So go check that out. Something free every day, it seems like. And then NHL Free Week is the promo code for a free week of NHL Osmo Plus. So we'll have more stuff to go along with that in the coming days. We're pretty excited to announce that. I'm especially excited. Hopefully can get some of you guys that watch on YouTube for free to come see what our Slack's all about and use the tools and hopefully make you guys better players. So with that, ownership projections, normal projections, rankings, stack rankings. Alex has his player stats from his projections. I help with the projections, but it's mostly Alex's brain. I do like the uploading and all that stuff, but we kind of came up with it together, and I don't know. I think we've got pretty solid projections. Um, what else am I forgetting? Did I mention premium Slack? Yeah, premium Slack's huge to catch like late line changes, and no one has this line change articles on 4+ game slates. So I think it's a pretty good deal. I mean, it's free after all for a week. If you don't like it, you can of course cancel. But I don't know. I think you guys are gonna stick around. I think you guys are gonna like it. My cheat sheets were just posted also. Am I maxing NFL tonight? I'm playing like the mini max and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess I'm maxing. I only play like a couple $100 usually on the showdowns, and it's like a really low dollar amount per lineup. Like I do 150 or 300 lineups. Are you? Are you Steven? You got it, man. I don't know. Showdown's fun for NFL. I think I'm in the green for Showdown. I've had like two profitable slates, but they worked out pretty well. Um, the rest of them I've kind of bricked, but I think I'm profitable. So that's pretty fun. And I have a league with my friends too, and my one buddy just keeps crushing us every week. It's just a single entry. So I got to take him down. I got to put more thought into my single entry lineup. Are there any mid high stakes 20 max or 10 maxes we could look at? I've been profitable so far on 150 max, but I cash 0 to 1 lineup each day in my 20 maxes. Uh, so I think, well, which lineups are you putting in your 20 maxes? I guess would be the question. Um, nice, got second in $12 for 1,000 bucks last night. That's pretty cool. $12 turning into 1,000. That's pretty nice. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the NHL free week. You can use that for the Express Weekly or the regular NHL Weekly. The regular NHL Weekly is that includes everything. The Express doesn't include projections and ownership. It's basically just the stack rankings, but you still get into Slack and all that. The reason we made it work for both is just because you will get billed after the 7 days are over if you don't cancel. But you know, it's like $4 for the Express. So if you're just worried about not canceling, if you only want to do the 1 week, that would be why you want to sign up for the Express. But I would suggest you sign up for the weekly. If you don't like it after a few days, you can always cancel. Yeah, Boom is in Slack. Boom is in Slack. He's in there just randomly for like hours at a time, and then he'll disappear for like 3 days. So, all right, let's do lineup study because, well, the slate isn't actually that bad, to be honest. Like we've got some good teams. Okay. Give us a core for GPP single entry on FanDuel. If I was looking at FanDuel, man, I haven't even crunched tonight for FanDuel. I don't even know if I'm gonna play. Uh, what I would do is honestly, if you're looking for a core, just take like the 4 or 5. And I don't really advocate for taking necessarily a core because I'm playing multiple lineups, but I would just use the promo code. Honestly, this is what I would honestly do: is use the projections on the site, or the rankings. Take the A rankings or the best values slash like raw point plays, and throw a few of those guys in, and then build around that values. A couple of the top values, a couple of the top um, uh, raw point plays, and then build around that. So it's kind of a shameless plug. I didn't even really mean to do that, but uh, I that's actually what I do. So I would suggest you do that while it's free, right? Oh, cheat sheets on the website as well. Yeah, I forgot. I mean, I do those too. So those are free. So that might help you get a good idea of what your core could be. Lucic for the win. Yeah, there you go. Last night's slate was a disaster for me. If you guys saw lineup study, You can't goat yourself. Well, oh, okay. So I had B. Kreider pulled up here. Oh, this was. I'm sorry. This was Monday slate. So I think this was a 2-gamer. That's why I wanted to look at this and see what some of the pros did. Let's go to last night first, though. Last night was the 30th. God, I got my days all switched around. This 2-game slate on a Thursday. We never have this, so I'm all messed up. Oh, do I have this pulled up already? I think I do. Yeah. All right, so let's look at last night. Couple familiar names. Oh, nice. Got third late. Nice. That's awesome. Lamouche or LA Moosh did it again. Well, I don't know how he really makes his lineups, but he just hits the nut one-offs all over the place, it seems like. So, you've got Pedersen, Besser combo in here. Makes total sense. Tanev, you throw a defenseman in there. He was cheap, I suppose. No Hughes, no Edler. But, paid down for Tanev and 1%. I didn't mind the Alex Martinez play. Or Alec Martinez. The IFL one-off, I'm not exactly sure where he got that. But McKinnon, Donskoy, I like that. Of course, I was super heavy on McKinnon. Palmieri one-off. Just the nut one-off right there. Hat trick. You had both hat tricks tonight. Let's see. Binnington. Just not much correlation, but yeah, he got there and he took it down again. So congrats, Morgan Vetrano. Oh man, that sucks. Those guys were so close too. Yeah. Matt. So you got a top 7 finish and still weren't able to profit. Like, not coming at you. That's the payout. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like how you just have to hit top 3 to profit if you're like really firing at these tournaments. As we see every night. Like I've been in the red a bunch of nights, getting top 10s. You got you get 7th. It's just crazy. It's unreal. You said Morgan and who did you? Oh, Morgan Vetrano. Okay, yeah, they crushed you. Palmieri, Ekblad, and then full Vancouver too. Nice. Getting LA right is the best feeling in the world. Why? I'd rather win than have all my plays work out. I mean, unless you won and got LA right. Let's look at good old Slewfoot. 2nd and 3rd. What did he do here? Horvat, Pedersen, Besser, power play stack with Quinn Hughes in the utility. Ooh. Okay, so 6-game slate. Just a mental note that Slewfoot is using, or at least allowed, defensemen in the flex. I don't know that I've seen him do that before. I like it. I don't. Have you guys seen him do that before? That's interesting. Doing his power play stack, right? Smart. Good way to differentiate. He does it better than anyone. Not a ton of correlation outside of the Vancouver power play stack, 4-man. So he hit on that. I think, isn't Besser his Twitter pick too? Like, I think he just loves the Canucks or something. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but yeah, I mean, just crushed here. Besser, 9% hat trick. I felt kind of like a fish when I woke up to, like, Vancouver 2 was. So I talked about how good they were at 5-on-5. They were overpriced, which is. Oh, he lives in Vancouver? Okay, that makes sense. So he's probably a Canucks fan, right? Whatever, he's a stud. I do remember him. Maybe he still has Besser as his Twitter pick. 3 putts. Yeah. 3 putts is a stud. What was I talking? Oh, Vancouver 2. Um, I should have had more of them. Like man, it's hard to know. Like, did I feel like this at 7:30 Eastern? I think I did. Like, I was looking at my exposures. I had like 4%, so I had six of them, like six full stacks. But I think I had too much like McKinnon, Kadri two mans. Like, I should have differentiated a little bit more because they were a good play. It was just one of those things like in MLB too, where we have, um, where the Red Sox they have like or the Yankees, all their guys are priced at like 5K, and they're a good player, one of the best implied totals on the slate or whatever. But because of how difficult they are to fit in, they don't make like the optimal lineup. But like this sport is so variance based that um, I, I felt like I should have been on it. Like I need to be better at making those kind of plays, like making some stands on like overpriced plays that are also really good raw point plays. So let's look at Slewfoot's exposure. What do you have here? Yeah, he was over. So like this is kind of, yeah, damn this. So he was double on Besser, 2.5x on Elias Pettersson. I'm guessing he had a bunch of Horvat. He was almost 3x. That was the right play, I think. And he still had a ton of Colorado. It's not like he was low on Colorado, a little bit lower on McKinnon, but I'm sure he had a ton of Colorado stacks. A bunch of Taylor Hall one-offs, I'm sure. Palmieri, he had that one-off. Yeah, that was a blind. Well, it wasn't a blind spot. It was like I even said like they have been so good at 5-on-5. They have been good on the power play. You could throw in Horvat. LA goaltending had been a disaster. All that stuff, and I still didn't get to him. So that's too bad. But Slewfoot did. Slewfoot, the nuts, Lamouche, LA Moosh, however you pronounce your name. You keep doing it. I don't know if that's not the way I play, obviously. But I also haven't banked the $10/$8 three times in the last week. So this guy, pretty incredible run on what we think of as a stacking sport, just taking it down with a bunch of one-offs a bunch of times in a small span. If we want to look at mine, I don't really want to, but did I have? Oh, I had almost the biggest loss in the tournament last night. I was up there. Yeah. 20 out of 150. Didn't even have one, and I had one in the top 100. That's really bad. I had so much McKinnon, Kadri, two-mans here. Let's see what I had. Yeah. Seth Jones. Man, he didn't do anything. So, like, my top... the Falk thing, I think that was a mistake. I must have pressed something in the freaking optimizer or something, because I wasn't on Falk at all, and then I ended up with him at 27%. Once the Volkov news... Volkov? Is that his name? Once that news came out, that guy got a 0. Cale Makar got a 0. Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to win anything, but was hoping I would get a little bit more back. Kings took like a million penalties. The rant of Chalk was wild. What? Oh, was he that chalky? I guess I didn't look. Yeah. That's pretty substantial for a 6-game slate. 12 goalies. He was 2.5 times what you would expect an average goalie to be, right? About 8%. Interesting. Nothing really weird here. I didn't get to Sergachev very much, but just didn't work out for me. And for a lot of the 150 maxers and 100 maxers and 75 maxers. I mean, it's just hard. It's a hard tournament. I wonder if some optimizer out there lets you make stacks like Fantasy Cruncher does for NFL with key players and groups. Yeah, I mean, that would just take so long for NHL, I think. You'd have like 100 groups on a big slate. How did Testy do? Not good. 3-3 wasn't the nuts last night. Yeah, so he cashed 34, I think he was, but yeah, didn't finish in the top 100. But Florida won was pretty disappointing too. Yeah, nothing weird here. I'm seeing just from the ones I'm looking at quick. I'm seeing all fives, or I'm sorry, 3-3s. So 3-3 was not the nuts last night. Yeah, but I don't know if you would have been able to fit Point Plot Johnson with Vancouver too. I wonder if you could have done that. You would have to really double punt it, I think, because Point was pretty expensive. All right, anything happen on FanDuel quick, and then we'll go into FanDuel doesn't make it easy to use lineup study, which is annoying, but let's see here. Slewfoot. What one over here? Oh yeah, this lineup was insane. They were sending screenshots of this earlier today. Vancouver power play stack, not even power play stack. Just Vancouver forward power play stack, I guess. Pretty good trio here. 45, 30, and 56.7. Nut one off. You won't really catch me doing Andre Palat one-offs very often. But, I mean, kudos to this guy. You will definitely not catch me doing a lot of Zach Kassian one-offs, but kudos, 9.6, got an assist. Shea Weber, Pietrangelo, both good plays. Interesting lineup construction. And it worked out, I guess, in a very big way for him. He crushed everything. Nice. Okay, let's go to the 2-game slate. Let's see what B. Kreider, he was on one of the craziest heaters. Maybe like 2 weeks ago. Like he was just binking everything. So this was Monday's slate. I'm not trying to show him because he lost or whatever. I just want to see what he's doing for lineup construction. Team stacks, bunch of Vancouver stacks performed near the top for him, but Pedersen, Besser, Miller, Eriksson, Schaller. So 3-2-1 forward for this first one. Looks like Pedersen, Hoffman, Vatrano. I think they were on the same line, 3-2-1. So Kreider, just looking at his first few lineups, B. Kreider, looks like he was all over the 3-2-1s, which I like too. I may be rolling out some 3-2-1s as well. Did testosterone just go 3-3s? I can't imagine on a 2-game slate that 100% 3-3s is the play, right? I don't know. But he's doing it. Boyle, Connolly, Jace Harley Ruck, and then Vancouver, 2, really their top line. Same thing here. Like, you just have to be so perfect when you do that, or just you're playing some third line on the road. I'm sorry, 3-2-1 is 3 forwards from one line, 2 from another. So there's your 3 and your 2, and then your 1 off, which is your 1. from usually another on a 2-game slate. It could be from the same team as one of the other ones, but yeah, that's what I mean by 3-2-1. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like exclusively. If you're doing it with fourth lines, like, yeah, you get a fourth line full goal and you're killing it, right? Let's see this column though. On a 2-game slate, do you really want 19 and 11 on any slate? Like, there's just so many dupes here. What did I do here? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't talk. Maybe I had a bunch of dupes. I haven't really looked at this slate too much, but where am I at? There we go. Yeah, I mean, I had way less dupes, which is half the battle. Oh, this isn't actually too bad. Like, I would take this most nights, because I do run some 3-3s out on 2-game slates. Like, I like running out with the third line or something like that. And I know that's going to be duped probably a couple times or close to it, or a 1v1 with a defenseman or something like that. But, yeah. Do you find there's a decent edge in 2-game slates, or is it very high variance? I think there's probably still an edge. Alex talks about how he's found edges in 2-game slates in a variety of different sports. Like, I think if you can still project ownership decently well, if you have good projections, and you're still, like, correlation still does matter. It matters in showdown slates. Drewby takes him down all the time, and the name of the game is correlation. And Alex is taken down a bunch all the time. Like, it's not the same in that you're, like, necessarily building a bunch of groups, but you can still get unique. And let's see, I had 100 lineups here, and looks like 10 or so were duped. Like, I'll take that. 90% of my lineups being only me having them in the tournament, I'll take that. Yeah, high variance is good, right? Yeah, you want high variance. You want things to go a little bit crazy, because some people don't account for that in sports like this. And they'll just hammer chalk on a 2-game slate, which is fine. Some chalk is great, but differentiation is key. That's right. That's what I think, at least. But don't listen to me, because I got crushed last night. Okay, we got through a half hour of that. Man, I had just become a king of rambling here. All right, so that is FC Pro's lineup study. If you guys are here and you do like this kind of stuff, I have to ask if you could give us likes. That would help me. It would help the site and help us continue to keep this kind of content in front of the paywall. So that is really appreciated. Once again, NHL Free Week is the promo code for a free week for the NHL Weekly Package or the Weekly Express. If you sign up for the Weekly, just the NHL Weekly, you get everything. Osmo Plus, you won't get billed for over 7 days. The Express will not include the point projections or the ownership projections. So can cancel at any time if you don't want to continue past the week, but I think you'll like it if you join Slack and do all that. This is a very, very limited time offer, and more information to come. And I think a pretty cool article that I've been working on to kind of help show you how the Osmo Plus tools can help you in NHL DFS. So that will be coming out very, very shortly, actually. So stay tuned for that. Be on the lookout for that. Let's talk about the games. If you guys got any questions, as always, feel free to drop them in chat. I'll be surveying both chats here. So I've got both up. Let's do it. Flames and Predators. We've got a 2.7 implied total for the Flames, 3.3 for the Predators. David Rittich confirmed against Pekka Rinne. He is likely Couple changes here. Flames back to their normal lines. I think that's probably for the best for a variety of different reasons. Calgary 1's cheap. They have not been good this year, but Calgary 2's cheap. I don't know. It feels like Calgary's been disappointing. I have no idea what their record is, but it feels like they haven't done anything for DFS, Giordano included. Anyways, on the Preds side, they got Duchesne back a couple games ago. Now they get Forsberg back, so we're going to get Duchesne centering Forsberg and Mikael Granlund. That is a 3-wing line. So that presents some difficulties on a 2-gamer. A lot of people aren't doing full stacks anyways, so it doesn't matter that much, for me at least. But the rest of the Preds lines look pretty normal. I think Salomaki is scratched, or expected to be scratched for the Preds to make room for Forsberg. Lucic down in the 4th line for Calgary, as he should be. Well, should he even be on a 4th line? I don't know. Anyways, a lot of viable plays here, I think. My favorite actually being Forsberg and Duchesne and Granlund. I like full stacking that line. Maybe a few people get off of it because it's 3 wingers. And, people don't like one-offing centers too much. Yeah, exactly, Matt. That's exactly what I think too. He says, do you think that 3-wing lines drive up ownership on someone like Stastny? Almost too easy to fit him, and you need an extra center if you play that. So yeah, Stastny, Backlund, Ryan Johansson is cheap. You're going to see people one-offing Bonino. Yeah, so it increases all the value centers. Dano too, even though I don't love him as a one-off. I even saw some laps where I was getting him as a one-off, and I don't mind him, but one-off play where he's people are going to be one-offing him, not a huge fan of that. So we'll see. I'm going to have Stastny one-offs. I'm going to have Backlund one-offs, but I'll try to get somewhat different with my teams here. When I stack up Nashville 2, they've been incredible at 5-on-5 in their short sample. I don't know who they're going to go up against, but we'll see. Maybe they go. Maybe they don't try to get anyone against anyone. That's probably the most likely outcome. But do we have ownership? I didn't see it before the show. Let me check this out. Oh, we do. Nice. I must have just missed it. Wow. Calgary is chalk, huh? Well, the top line. Okay, so yeah, the top line is way too cheap based on how projection systems project them. So if you do that, then they're just so easy to fit, right? 5,500. You could just take your pick on Golden Knights here, either line. What is this? Okay. Let's see what we got here. Like I said, my favorite line is the Forsberg line. I am a little bit surprised to see how popular we have Calgary 1 being, even though they are cheap. I think the second line is probably going to be pretty popular. Let's see. Johansson, Arvidsson, Yarncroc. Yarncroc now on the or not on the power play, so maybe that keeps his ownership a little bit low. And I don't know, man. It's just going to be a ton of Nashville 2 for me here. That's going to be by far my favorite play in this game. So I hope ownership sticks. I don't think it's a very good matchup for Calgary 1. They haven't really done much of anything. But I don't know. If they do it here and they're chalky just because they're cheap, that's going to be really frustrating because I will probably lose. But who knows? This line is hard to argue. It's good value. It's just bad correlation. That doesn't really matter as much on a 2-game slate where you're just looking for raw points. You can full stack this. Backlund Kachuk 2-man looks really nice just from a pricing perspective. Interesting. I think Calgary's going to be a little bit lower than what we have them at, to be honest. It'll be higher. Well, yeah, I think it will be higher in multi-entry tournaments just because they're good optimizer plays. Calgary 1 is, and 2 really. They're just really cheap, so good value. Variance-based sport, going to try to get off of some of the value. Yeah, larger slates. Yeah, Alex. I mean, the NHL ones will take some time to be as good as MLB, but yeah, larger slates are easier to predict, right? Because there's a couple of values that stand out, a couple teams that usually stand out, kind of get pushed towards the top, and then everyone else falls in line. Okay, Nashville 3, pretty good stack actually. I kind of don't hate the Calgary third line. So I don't love Calgary, but they're dirt cheap. So this is one like Mangiapane can score goals. I suppose Sam Bennett can score goals. It's just not a terrible third line, and it's one that's going to get basically no ownership. Let me just do a quick search for Derek Ryan. Yeah, I mean, essentially nothing. So that's a line I don't mind taking a couple flyers on. In MME, Giordano still my number one guy for Calgary, but he's not been great. The biggest Giordano guy out there these last couple of years, but yeah, it's difficult. Like Yossi, speaking of difficult, 7K. I can't even argue with that. He has been so good. So we've got him at just like 22.5% on DraftKings. I still think that's too low. He's been unreal. So maybe a little bit of an overprice for Yossi, but like I'm able to make it work in a lot of my lineups. So I hope people get off of him. Forsberg comes in higher owned than any Calgary forward. I think, yeah, there's probably a pretty good chance of that. Where's Forsberg at? I think we've got him being pretty low. Yeah, Forsberg's probably gonna be a little higher than that, I would guess, but we'll see. Ellis, Ekholm, Brody, yikes. So you've got Brody and Rasmus Anderson. I suppose they're on the second unit, but you really want the top unit if you're targeting Calgary's power play. Hannafin, Hamonic, mostly Hamonic, decent blocked shot spot here. That's really all I got on this game. Rene and Fleury are going to be probably my highest owned goalies. So this one is the most interesting way to talk about this is just different lineup constructions. So 2-manning a third line, or 3-manning a second line or something like that, or an unpopular line as a whole is going to be the way to, I think, get an edge on these 2-game slates, especially this one, because I definitely agree with Nashville and Vegas being very popular. Other game, Montreal and Vegas. Keith Kincaid against Marc-Andre Fleury. Canadiens back-to-back. Road back-to-back. They were in Arizona last night. Yep, that makes sense. West Coast trip. I guess that's probably considered West Coast, right? Vegas? I don't even know. Anyways, 2.7 implied total for Montreal. 3.7 for the Golden Knights. Looks like just a ton of Vegas. Before Forsberg was in, I was getting an absurd amount of Vegas skaters in my crunches, even for a 2-game slate. With Forsberg in, that did change some things for me. So it's going to be more of a balance between Nashville and Vegas for me. If someone said Vegas 2 was their top play, I would say that's a pretty good spot. If someone said Vegas 1 was their top play, I'd say that's a pretty good spot. They're super equal, always difficult to try to choose between those two lines. So now that we have ownership projections, I basically just go with they're going to project similarly. If they're priced similarly, whoever's going to be a little bit lower owned is where I go usually. So let's see. No big discrepancy here, but looks like we expect Vegas 2 to be a little bit more popular than Vegas 1 for what that's worth. Over under 40 saves for Kincaid, right? Like, should you just I don't know. Like, I feel like it could be one of those games too where he doesn't necessarily get an absurd amount of saves, but Vegas is just really efficient with their scoring chances. Like, how does Vegas not run them over here? I don't know. Maybe it's going to be with a ton of medium and low danger volume, but I think they're just going to be able to get in close and probably pop in a bunch of goals. So I suppose I have to give the slightest of edges to Vegas 1 just because of ownership. Like I said, going to be really close between the two. Alex Tuch coming back. Our boy, my boy. I love this guy. 4,400. He's not listed on the power play. I don't know if they practiced power plays this morning or what. Or maybe yesterday. At some point, he's going to be back on the power play. Like, he's just way too good not to be. This third line for Vegas looks pretty fun. Eakin, Glass, and Tuch. Tuch just Vegas looks incredibly tough. They've got a pretty good fourth line too. So anyways, I like all of Vegas's top 3 lines. I think if you are 6-man stacking, this is the team you do it with. You could do it with Nashville too, but I like the spot a little bit better for just complete onslaughts. You could just go, like, you could do 3 onslaughts, right? You could do Vegas 1 with Vegas 2, Vegas 2 with Vegas 3, and Vegas 1 with Vegas 3. And there you go. There's 3 onslaughts. Only takes 3 lineups. I mean, I think that's a pretty good option if you're multi-entering. Like I said, backup goalie for Montreal. Man, they're just really, I don't know. This is brutal. This is a brutal spot for Kincaid. Apologies to him. Montreal side. Let's look at them because we can't just throw a team out on a 2-game slate. Shea Weber picking up some ownership. That makes sense. He is 5,400 here. Pretty good price for him. Coming off a big game last night. Let's see. Gallagher. Man, is Gallagher really getting owned? I saw his price this morning. I was like, what is going on? 7,200. I don't hate the full line for Montreal. Like, I think that's what I would do and just hope that they can generate a bunch of 5-on-5 stuff and get lucky with a couple goals. Because it's not a good spot, but they are very, very good at 5-on-5. Just wish they had a little bit more power play correlation even for a 2-game slate. Montreal 2 is priced way up. So this is different. This is not the Vancouver 2 situation for me. Maybe it'll turn out to be that way. Like, maybe Montreal 2 will go off and be the nuts. I suppose there's a possibility. And they're going to be, they're going to be decently low owned. So I will have a couple Montreal stacks in my 150. Montreal 2. They weren't really coming up organically for me, but yeah, I should probably have a few if I'm running out 100 lineups tonight. Not going to be a line. I take a major stance on Vegas is top. Vegas is just good defensively, and they're just so good offensively that it's probably going to be difficult for them to get the puck a lot on the back-to-back. So they're priced up. I don't really think they warrant being priced up, whereas Vancouver, too, did warrant being priced up yesterday. And so if this burns me again, I don't think Domi, Drouin, and Armia are an elite line, at least not yet. So I'm okay if that line beats me. On defenseman here, let's see. Mentioned Weber. Nate Schmidt is back. That is also huge for Vegas. He is $3,100. Should not be $3,100. He's not the greatest DFS defenseman, but he definitely matters for Vegas. Just like bulking up their defenseman core. Maybe a little bit of a hit to Theodore's minutes. No, I don't think anything substantial, but the price difference makes it tough. Schmidt is a really good value for $3,100. Right now, I have a little bit more Schmidt than Shea Theodore for what it's worth. Still do really love Theodore. He goes better with the top Vegas line, the Carlson line. Schmidt goes better with the Stastny line, but mix and match how you want. I think they're both going to play 5-on-5 with the other line as well, and the third line too. So, Vegas. If there's ever an onslaught spot, I mean, 2 gamers, it's always viable with any team, right? But here, I think that's a good way to differentiate. Get your 5-man stack in there. So if you like Vegas 1, do something weird like Glass Tuck. And there you go. There's your 5-man. Maybe put in a defenseman. Get your Shea Theodore. Oh wait, Theodore correlates to Vegas 1. And there you go. $5,800 left over per player. So you could throw in Fleury. Now you've got a center and a defenseman. You could play your Backlund. You could play, I don't even know. Could you go Backlund Yossi? I don't think you can. No, you can't. Almost gave away the nuts there. Didn't want to quite give it away. But yeah, man, this brutal spot for Kincaid. Schmidt on play with Vegas 1. Is he? This is incorrect? Let me see that. Am I telling lies right now? Schmidt on PP with Carlson line? Now I gotta go change this. You guys. Well, all right. Thanks for telling me, because that will help. They do, man. They really do. When Schmidt and Theodore have both been healthy at the same time, they do switch those guys around. So it's not the biggest deal in the world, but can happen. Goalies are disgusting tonight. Rena and Fleury. You can fit them, so do it. One more thing. Kincaid's going to see volume, as will Rittich probably, but who knows if they're going to allow 2 goals or 6. So, goalie, very uninteresting to talk about. I wanted to see who's allowing defensemen or players against their goalie. I think I'm going to allow 1. Not sure if I'm going to allow 2. Testosterone. I don't think testosterone does. Was it Arizona and... Yeah, it was Vancouver and... Who was it? Vancouver, Florida, the slate, and Arizona, Buffalo. So, Demko... Yeah. Didn't allow defensemen or any players against his goalie. What about Kreider? Demko. Who did I say it was? Vancouver and... Wait, I'm pretty sure I could just do this. Can't I? Okay, so all of his Hutton lineups. Did he have any... I don't see any Arizona skaters against him. So maybe he doesn't allow one against his goalie. These are all his Kemper lineups. So any Buffalo, any Eichel here? Nope, no Eichel, no Eichel, no Eichel. Wow. So on a 2-game slate, B. Kreider not allowing players against his goalie. Left wing lock could be wrong too, I guess. Okay. Well, we'll have to check on that. I'll I will post in Slack if I find anything about that. Yeah, guys, feel free to hit us with a like on the way out. Tomorrow, it will be Slim Cliffy and I doing the show. Yeah, so Slim Cliffy is going to jump on. I think we've got a pretty sizable, I think it's an 8-gamer. There's a live final queue, so go get in that. I think it's $250 over on DraftKings. Go play on Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports. Check out their Thursday contests for NFL. Those are pretty cool. We love Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports. So go play over there, go support, and use promo code AWESOMO to get $30, up to $30 of Yahoo Sports rewards points. Real quick rundown of the free stuff today. Alex Tuck working with PP2, which includes Schmidt, Carlson, Marchessault, and Smith. Okay. Theodore to remain with Glass, Pacioretty, Stone, Stastny. There we go. So Tuck is on the power play. Nice. Laffy's deep dive article is free today. Let me see if this is out yet. There we go. This is free. Let me post this for you guys in chat. If you're playing NBA, you should be, and you should be using the tools and the content at our site. Awesomo's top stack, and I guess it's not stacks, Awesomo's top showdown and single game plays for the showdown slate. This is a really cool tool if you like the MLB top stacks tool, if you like the NFL's top stacks tool. You're going to love this if you play showdown. Probability of each player being the top scorer on the slate, their ownership, and this will kind of help you decide if you play a captain who you should have in the rest of your lineup. So really, really cool tool, one that I look at for sure when I'm building my terrible showdown lineups. Yeah, play showdown and use this when you do. Once again, here's the link to this. Check out the cheat sheets. No power plays today because it was under a 4-game slate, but one last time, the link to this, let's see, Thursday Night Football giveaway. Here you go. Go respond to that. It's on my Twitter. See, I retweeted it during the show, so go respond to that, like it, retweet, do all the things in the directions, and give your player that's going to score the most fantasy points on Thursday Night Football. Pretty easy stuff, and a chance to win a $250 of value. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. And Cliffy and I will be back tomorrow. Good luck.